Hey everybody, welcome back to Miami Minute, where we cover my favorite team, the Miami Dolphins, here on Wicked Good Sports. And for the second week in a row, the Miami Dolphins escape a very thrilling, extremely stressful game with a win as they beat the rival Buffalo Bills 21-19. So this game really, I hope, is the first in like a series of very competitive, intense games between the Dolphins and the Bills. Up until this point, the Bills had really owned us for the last few years, so it felt great to finally get a W against them, and it was really hard fought. I mean, there were players on both sides dropping left and right. It felt like a Ravens Steelers game, or an AFC North game in general, more than an AFC East game. But the Dolphins continue to impress early on in the season. Mike McDaniel moves to 3-0 on the season. We were very, very close to having to live with the fact that we were going to blow a 21-17 lead after a goal line stand on what would go on to be known, and probably still will be known, as the butt punt, as our punter just kicked seemingly into the person in front of him, and it went out for safety, and the Bills got the ball back. Had the Bills scored on the final drive and sent the Dolphins home with a 22-21 loss, I think that really would have messed with the fans for sure, because this really was the prove that the Dolphins are different than years past. And I think they did, especially that defense being on the field for 41 minutes out of 60. They had to be so exhausted by the end of it, and to be able to hold the Bills with that goal line stand, to hold them so that they ran out of time at the end of the game. Kudos to them after a week where they really did get torched and where they're, a little banged up. This was an impressive showing. So, I mean, hats off to the Bills. Josh Allen had 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's a beast. Stephon Diggs, he added, 7 receptions for 74 yards. Didn't get a touchdown, luckily. I would say Isaiah McKenzie, he was cooking the Dolphins. It seemed that every crucial play the Buffalo Bills needed, he was the one making it. Obviously, that ended with the end of the game. He was not able to either get out of bounds or get down quick enough for them to spike it, and that allowed time to run out. But other than that, 7 receptions, 76 yards, and touchdown. He really did have a great game. As for the Dolphins, Tua went 13 of 18 for 186 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Not the flashiest game, but hey, we will certainly take that, especially when right before the half, it seemed like Tua's day was done. It looks like he got a concussion on a late hit, but luckily, turns out it was a back injury. That's what the Dolphins are saying. Anyways, it did look like a concussion in the moment, though. I was about ready to ask Alexa to start playing Needle in the Hay by Elliott Smith after the Dolphins had played the Bills tough in the first half. But fortunately, that wasn't the case. He came back. He led some decent drives in the second half when he was on the field. There were a few 3-and-outs that really didn't help out the defense and allowed Buffalo to control the clock. But all in all, a decent game from our starter. Chase Edmonds, he had only 21 yards with 2 touchdowns, including 1 touchdown to give them the lead after just getting his bell absolutely rung on a late hit down by the goal line. So shout out to him. Mostert added 11 yards as well. Jalen Waddle, wearing his jersey, he led the team with 4 receptions for 102 yards, including 2 receptions on what would be the go-ahead touchdown drive. Tyreek Hill only had 2 for 33. They definitely came into this game like, look, we cannot let Tyreek Hill do what he did to the Ravens against us, and they did take him out of the game fairly well. So shout out Carcraft. He got called up once again from the practice squad, and he had another touchdown. He has 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns. We'll take that from him, absolutely. So I think at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to probably discredit this win again, say that the Bills were injured, which of course they were. The Dolphins had injuries as well. Bills certainly had more, especially on that offensive line. The heat plays a big role in it as well. I mean, look, this is how it really should be with the AFC East teams. If the NFL wants the Dolphins to be in the AFC East instead of, say, the AFC South, which geographically would make a lot more sense for them to be in, they should get to play the other teams in September, and then they should have to go up to the other teams' homes in December. It seems only fair to amplify home field advantage. We certainly saw the home field advantage play out in the Dolphins' favor in a big way in this game. I think the Bills are an extremely talented team. Obviously, coming into this season, they were a lot of people's Super Bowl pick, and after the first 2 weeks where they just completely destroyed the Rams, the defending Super Bowl champions, and the Titans, the defending number 1 seed in the AFC, there was a lot of hype around them. So I hope that instead of discrediting the Dolphins, people will start to perhaps come around to them and see them as a real contender. Though I doubt it. I imagine, despite the Dolphins being the final undefeated team in the AFC, the Eagles are the final undefeated team in the NFC as of now, with the Buccaneers still playing. I doubt that we'll actually see people give them the credit. It seems Tua, and then by extension the rest of the Dolphins, they don't get a ton of credit for whatever reason. But as a Dolphins fan, I'm really enjoying this. I mean, this is the type of team that you want your team to be. They're scrappy. They don't give up when the chips are down, and they're capable of making big plays on offense and on defense. So what did you think if you're a Dolphins fan? What did you think of the game? Where do you think this season's going to lead to? What do you think of the coach? What do you think McDaniels? What do you think the end of this game where the Bills were not able to continue due to the clock running out? All opinions, thoughts are welcome in the comments section down below. I'm Brian Marr. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheFakeMarr. That's BMARR. Channel is on Twitter at Wicked Good Sport and at WG Everything. Instagram, Wicked Good Everything. Twitch, twitch.tv/Wicked Good Everything. And on TikTok, search Wicked Good Sports. Search Wicked Good Everything. We also have a blog, which is www.wickedgoodeverythingsports.com. Check us out there, and we cover sports almost every single day here on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you